Good evening, everyone. My name is Lincoln. This is RPA Tutor. Today's March 21st, 2020, and we're at the somewhat of the beginning stages of the coronavirus pandemic. So, I thought I would do something to help track what's going on in the world today. So, what we'll do is we'll go to bing.com/coronavirus and we'll grab some metrics that they have listed on the website. And because we don't, as far as I know, there's no historical tracking, there's just current tracking of what's going on in the world. Um, what we'll do is we'll create a historical view of um, what's going on so that we can tell if the numbers are increasing, decreasing, when they're increasing, when they're decreasing on a set schedule. So let's go ahead and get started. So we'll go ahead and just call this the coronavirus tracker. Alright, let's go ahead and open up the main.xaml file. And for this project, since we're going to the Bing's website, we'll go ahead and use a open browser activity. Now, I believe the site is www.bing.com/coronavirus. We'll have to check that, I'm not sure. And we'll use Chrome for this one. Right, let's go ahead and test it out. Alright, so it looks like we're good. This is exactly what I was looking for. And as you can see, we can click through it and kind of get a sense of what's going on. Right. Alright, so where to start? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll extract the top level locations, mainly the countries, and we'll put them into a data table. Um, we'll also, well, let's look at it. Right, so we'll extract the top level: China, Italy, Spain, United States, Germany, Iran, and so forth. We'll grab this data as well as the number of confirmed, or the number of, I would say, confirmed cases, and then we'll sweep through and grab all the states with the confirmed cases. We'll take this data and we'll write the data to an Excel file. So we'll grab all of this data and write it to one tab. For the United States, we'll grab the states and we'll make a tab for each of these states. dynamically, and we will write each of these rows to their corresponding tabs. Alright, so to start, let's go ahead and start our data scraping wizard, and we'll grab our first element, and then we'll grab our second element. So we'll just call this location. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And then we're going to make it so that we're going to grab all of the data and extract correlated data because we want the confirmed cases. So go ahead and grab this one, and we'll grab the next one, and we'll call this confirmed cases. Yep, looks pretty good. Alright, let's see. Go ahead and get this going. So now we should be having the data in this extract data variable. Actually, give me 1 second, guys. Alright, trying to record in a fully loaded house, so that's fun. In any case, so we just extracted these locations and we are placing the data into this data table variable. I'm going to call this DT countries, and this might contain more than just countries, and I believe it does, but just for simplicity's sake, we'll go ahead and just call it DT countries, and you'll notice that it should update right here, and it did. So now we have all of the countries, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a click activity because we want to expand the United States. So when we do indicate element, we click on the United States. Great. Fantastic. Now we'll notice that it's expanded, and then we're going to use the data scraping wizard and pull out the rest of these values. Let's go ahead and grab Alabama, grab Alaska, we'll call this state, and we want to grab everything, so we'll change the maximum number of results to 0, and we're going to want to pull the confirmed cases. So Alaska, state confirmed cases. Fantastic. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, and so forth. Does not span multiple pages. Right. So I'll call this one DT underscore states state confirmed cases. And we're going to just go ahead and change the scope to the upper level sequence so that everything has access to it. this is developer level sequence. So in a real world situation, you would not want to leave this named sequence. You would want to rename it to something that is better identifiable, so that if it's in a large project and it errors, or even if you're trying to find it, you can better identify it by searching it or in the logs. Great. So now we have DT state confirmed cases, and we want to go back and just really quickly just verify that we have simulate click on for this click event, and we don't. So we're going to go ahead and simulate the click event on this. And we don't really need a separate sequence for this and to attach it to the browser. So what we're going to do is we're going to extract the um, extract data, structured data activity. We're going to pull it into the upper levels sequence. We really don't need this, so I'm just going to delete it. And right, so I'm also going to reorganize this a little bit because we have a lot of extra sequences in here. I'm going to take this extract structured data div areas. Actually, I'm going to Alright, so I'm just going to pull this one up above, and then I'm going to pull this this click event to the top level one and this data extract. So essentially what I did here was this open browser scope, I'm just putting everything within it. That way we don't have to attach it to the browser, which is just an extra unnecessary step. So to review, we're going to open up bing.com/coronavirus. We're going to extract the top level locations, which is mainly countries and their associated confirmed cases. We're going to expand the United States, and then we're going to grab all the states and their confirmed cases. Let's see, it looks like we have an error here. Let me see. DT countries. Alright, so it looks like by making that change, we seem to have lost the DT table, DT countries data table, which is fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this one out, press Ctrl K to generate the set var keywords, and we're just going to paste in DT_countries. So we'll see that this data table popped up, but it's within the do scope. We'll just move it to the top level so that everything has access to this. And great. Now we have access to it. We fix that error. Alright, so what we'll do now is we're going to create a Excel file, and we'll call this Excel file. I know, creative. And we'll call this coronavirus tracker dot xlsx. Alright, fantastic. Now we're going to, let's just write it out and see how it goes. We don't have to do it within the scope of open browser, so we'll keep it segmented out. We'll just call this the world. So that's the tab name, the world, and we're going to write to the Excel file coronavirus tracker.xlsx. So for this data table, we call it DT countries, and once we grab the data, actually we want to do a little cleanup, so we're going to close this tab. Alright. Alright, let's see how it goes. Maybe we'll get it right the first time. Nope. Well, nope. Great. Looks like it worked. Let's see. Yep. Great. So we see that it did indeed work, at least for the world. Right. So what to do next? Alright, I suppose we need to do something with the state confirmed cases. What we're going to do first is we're going to, because each tab will be written to its corresponding state, we'll need a timestamp as far as like retrieval time. That doesn't come from the web page, so we'll just add a column. So where are we going to add it to? We're going to add it to dt underscore state confirmed cases. We'll call this date time, and for the default value we'll just have it datetime.now. Alright. After that, what we'll do is we'll for each through the data table and state confirmed cases. Alright, so since we want to write, we want to append the data to keep track of it each time this application runs. We're going to append it. We're going to use a append range. For this workbook, it'll be the Excel file. For the tab name, For the sheet name, we're going to go with row. I'm not sure what I called this before, but we'll just use state name for now. What did I call this? Alright, it looks like I actually called this just state. So we'll call this state. Alright, and what we'll do is we're going to need to query out each of the states. So we're going to use two assigned variables. Actually, maybe we'll try a multiple assign. And it's basically just the assign variable, except we can add uh, multiple assigned functions, activities. So for this one, we're going to take the row value, we'll call it state, and then toString. Actually, we're going to use this as the filter. So we'll do state equals, throw in a single quote. So that'll be the beginning of our filter, which we're going to use in a select statement for the data table. So state equals, and then we're going to surround it in single quotes, which is the purpose of this concatenation. So we'll call this state. It's going to be a string value. Right, so now we have the filter, and we're going to create the actual selection, the query for the data table. So we're going to say DT states confirmed cases. Then we're going to select our state, and then we're going to do a copy to data table. Should work. No, it doesn't. Right. Okay, everyone. So we're going to have to fix UiPath because it apparently does not put this in by itself. Or maybe, give me 1 second. Let's try system.data data extensions. Let's try installing this. Right, so great. So what we're we're going to do is we're going to open up this main.xaml file, and we're going to have to add an assembly reference. System.data.data set extensions. And then we're going to restart this. Right, so we're going to restart it. Alright, well, apparently I got something wrong in here, so let's close this out. Let's take another look at it, see where I broke it. So system.data.data set extensions. Alright. Interesting. System, that looks right. Interesting. Definitely something wrong. I will be right back. Alright, well, my eyes are failing me, and so I did figure out what the problem was. Apparently I have a lowercase r here, and if I capitalize it, it should fix the problem. I haven't tested this yet, but that's what appears to be the problem. Let's try this again. Yay, okay. Let's, well, we're getting a different error now. Okay, so this is fine. So I believe all this is saying is that we don't have a value for this. So we'll just control K and we'll just call it state data. So alright. Well, that was a little messy, but we were able to get through it. Alright, so what we're going to do is, whoops. Alright. I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but let's go ahead and We'll put this within the browser scope. That's fine. So it'll write the countries first in the world tab, then we'll come through here and it will start to loop through the states. Um, and it'll create new tabs for each of the states, writing out its data. So the countries will overwrite itself every single time with this write range. This append range will make sure that it just adds on to each of the rows. Let's go ahead and give it a try. See what breaks. Alright, well, nothing broke. So let's see if it gives us what we actually want. Alright. Alabama with the date and time, confirmed cases, Alaska, Arkansas, California. Right. Alright, well, this recording's been going on for, I just noticed, a half an hour. So, in any case, I'm going to run this one more time, and just to show you that it's going to append it and give us a new date and time. We can actually schedule this out, and it'll run. You can set it on whatever schedule you want. You can even use Windows Task Scheduler to do so, and maybe I'll make another video about that, but I was hoping to keep my videos around 20 minutes or under, but I'm way over on this video. So let's go ahead and run this again, and we'll just make sure that it's working properly and appending to these lines. And actually, I'm just going to pause it until it stops running to cut down on the time. Alright, so it finished running. I haven't checked it yet, so let's go ahead and take a look and see how it is. So expectation is the countries will overwrite, which it does, and the states should add on, it should append to the existing rows, in which it does. So we've got 3 minutes apart. Alright, well, that wraps up this session. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Hopefully it's digestible. So what I will probably do is run this on my local machine and just to see which states are improving. What I have noticed is New York at one point was around 8,000 confirmed cases, and this is today, March 21st. The confirmed cases went from about 8,000, jumped up to 10,000, and then within a couple hours it dropped down to 7,000. So these numbers fluctuate greatly. I'm not sure exactly what their time frame is for polling the different cases. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, my name is Lincoln. This is RPA Tutor, and be safe, take care of yourself, and have a good weekend.